Hey everyone, welcome to another first descendant video. Today we'll be going over the new Abyss Ice Maiden build. This build can be used with any skill-based descendant that does a lot of skill power with their fourth. The descendant of choice is Valby. We'll be going over the entire encounter and how to consistently clear it without any issues. Now, the Restore Relic is the weapon of choice that we'll be using today. Unfortunately, this looks to be the needed weapon just because you'll be able to take apart her armor pretty fast by you hitting weak points with the weapon. Weak point expansion is one of the mods that I did add into this weapon that normally you don't see. It really helps out take away her armor. And another mod that I'm pretty much teched in for myself is the multi-bullet. This is something you can change with fire priority if you like, but you'll see throughout the build why I will want to keep that instead. Now for the poke weapon that I'm using the Ancient Knight. This is a weapon that already has fire base. If you have another weapon you can do a lot of damage with, go ahead and use that, but the Ancient Knight is the weapon that I'm using today. This is the mods for it if you don't already have. As far as the descendant herself, we are using Ultimate Valby. Now the short sword, I know it sticks out. So I'm using this because part of the build mechanics, sometimes I do attach myself into the Colossi, but I always miss with mid-air maneuver, but you can go ahead and just swap that. It's not a needed. Yeah, that's something that I take for myself. Hyper focus is needed for this. We do crit damage. It gives you crit skill power. If you use skill power, you give damage instead. Max HP, I use this over skill expansion just for survivability. For the reactor, we're using a crit hit damage and Colossi. Nothing new there. For the extended component, I'm using the Enlightenment Mage. This is specifically just for the fourth. I have pretty bad rolls on them. I just threw them on to test out. They did pretty good, so I kept it. But you don't need this. So for any descendants that you're using to fight Ice Maiden, you can use the Slayer set, and it was really good. You get the skill power of 26, and actually my fastest time was actually using the Slayer set over the other components. So don't feel like you definitely need those components just to use this mechanics and build wise. But yeah, for Arche Tuning, I'm using skill power, so the right side of the tree is being used. And as far as the mutant cell, I'm using the defending neutralization. I prefer this over the other ones just because as long as the shield is at max, you're always doing constant damage and it always constantly reset. Now if you're using Valby, you can use the final preparation instead. I tested out with the preparations, I did not get as good results. So the Inversion Reinforcement we're selecting is the void resistance for some survivability. We are getting fire focus, and we are getting strike point for extra weak point damage every time we land a multi-hit. And yeah, that's pretty much the overall build. I know I sped it through pretty fast. You could go back, take a look, pause, freeze, and yeah, now let's go to the actual boss battle. So I'm gonna be going over the entire encounter, the do's and don'ts, and pretty much the strategy. So in this beginning part, you just want to dodge everything because you can teleport to you, but apparently I can't dodge. Just jump out the way and then you could shoot off your rockets. That's pretty much the intro to every single time, and she always does that every time. So she does another attack here, and then she's gonna open up the chance for you to use your fourth ability, which is when she puts her hands in the air. This is where you pretty much just melt her as much as possible. And if you notice, the second modifier, well, debuff on her is your mutant cell, and it constantly resets every time you get a tick. So That's one of the main reasons I prefer that over the other, what's called now. But yeah, we're pretty much focusing on using our fort to do the damage, or majority of the damage. So now we're just waiting for our cooldown to get our fort back and just poke damage as you get your cooldown back. Most of the time, what I'm doing here is just trying to get one of the shoulder pieces to turn yellow, just like grab onto it. Knocking her down and then using your fort is a good way to do a significant amount of damage pretty fast, and your mutant cell should still be active because she has full health. Now, I don't think I'm gonna be able to pull it off in this clip, but that's just something for you to always remember. So I did stun her there, so I'm gonna go ahead and just pop her. Now, every time she goes into this freeze mode, she always does the bubble. But because I had her stun, she didn't do it, so it kind of like messed up her normal rhythm. However, if she does get close enough, she does end up popping it. Now, for the Valby players, just know when you use your 3, you take significantly less damage while using your 3. So I think she ends up doing the bubble here, and I managed to get away with using the 3. Or maybe I'm seeing the future. Yep. And also the inversion reinforcement does help there because my health was 50 or lower. Now, ideally, if you really want to kill her fast or get a better timing, you could just let her kill you, so that way you just spawn with your fort available and you could just literally just melt her for the remaining of the damage. But since I'm alive and you just never know, some BS be happening, I just decided to just play my life, and you know, I'm not too worried about killing her 30 seconds faster than just waiting for my cooldown to come up. And the safest way is still waiting for her to do that up freeze, so that's what I'm pretty much just waiting right now for the up freeze, and then I'll just pop the fort. If you do find this video to be useful, a like will be greatly appreciated, and subscribing will definitely help the channel out. And yeah, thank you all for watching. I do have one more clip if she goes into the final stand that I just want to go over with. Just kill her here. There you go. Bye. So for the final stance, the rule behind that I follow is if she's half health or a little bit lower than half health or third of her health, don't use your fort. Wait for it, and when she does go into final stand, you just pop her with your fort, and that would just stop her and stun her. In this clip, I did not have 3 stacks, so that was just like my base skill damage. But if I did have 3 stack, I would have like that 84 boost, and then it would have killed her right then. But she's a stubborn one, and this ended up taking even longer than it was supposed to. But yeah, that's pretty much the video. Thank you all for watching, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.